What's going on, guys? Welcome to Gunshot Gaming. I'm Tito Rosado, and today we are going to run through Xbox's E3 showcase that just happened recently. We're joined here by Robby Rosado. Thanks again for coming on.
No problem.
All right, so, Xbox came with the banger. They finally gave us information on Starfield. Now, this is a game that everybody's been waiting to see something about. Now, they didn't give us any gameplay, but they did give us in-engine, like an in-engine trailer. So it was able to kind of showcase a little bit of what the game's going to look like. Obviously, you know, I'm not going to count that it's for sure going to look that great, but I mean, the trailer did look awesome. What were your kind of thoughts on finally seeing what Starfield was looking like and kind of going for?
I really like the direction it seems like it wants to go. It seems, just from the very little bit of trailer we saw, that it's going to be still very Bethesda in I guess the movements of the characters. Like, you could just tell with that engine that they're using. It's definitely updated, but it still has a very Fallout-y Skyrim, like early Skyrim, like look to it, just like the way the movements are. I'm curious what their style of game is going to look like in a space world. So it's interesting. As cool as it was, I really wish we would have got just a little more of an idea of what the gameplay is like. I get it, you know, they still need another year, but just something. I get it. We could use our imagination. Oh, take a Fallout or Skyrim and make it space. It's cool. It sounds awesome. Just seeing how there's all the little gadgets and you're probably going to be moving in that vehicular thing that they were in. It looks cool, but I don't know.
Yeah, I agree. I think I would have liked to see a little more, but hey, beggars can't be choosers. I mean, we finally got to see something more than a logo. And, you know, overall, first impressions, yes, it does look great knowing that it's in engine. And even, I think when they were panning over this area inside like a ship, it showed you like one of the guns with like a cool little HUD on the gun, looked a little different. So excited to see what that world's going to look like. And I think, you know, Todd Howard said it best when he just said it's Skyrim in space. So, I mean, you don't legit, that sounds perfect. So like you were saying, I'm curious to see what they're going to do, you know, with a Skyrim in space. Because instead of like, you know, they talk about you look at the mountain, you can go to that mountain. So is it, oh, look at that galaxy, you can go to that galaxy? Like, hopefully that's what we're going to get out of Starfield. So can't wait to see more about that. And the biggest thing that dropped is the fact that Starfield is exclusive to Xbox, not coming out on PlayStation. I think this is something everybody was talking about. Now it's official. No one has to talk about it anymore. It's exclusive. And anybody still thinking that they're going to bring other Bethesda titles to PlayStation or other consoles or not keep it exclusive, I think you're crazy. I think they spent, you know, that many billions of dollars to secure the rights to these IPs, and I think that's what we're going to see going forward. Next, we were hit with Stalker II. Now, we've gotten a little teaser about this before, but this one, it was actually some of probably the longest like footage that was shown during this E3 presentation. A lot of gameplay, and seeing the teaser a while back, I really wasn't interested in this game, but now seeing this gameplay, I'm very interested. I mean, it looks beautiful, and it just has a really weird, eerie tone to it. You know, anything, you know, did that gameplay get you like actually wanting to play it now, Rob?
I'm a little mixed because as good as it looks, and that game is so beautiful, it looks a lot like the Metro series, like Metro Exodus and those style of games. And I usually don't care for those like very slow, like RPG-ish like shooters. Like it takes its time essentially, which sometimes I like that, like in a Resident Evil game. First person games it usually doesn't do it for me, but we'll see. I'm definitely willing to give it a shot, especially coming to Game Pass. It looks phenomenal. This is actually probably the second longest. The longest goes to Forza by a landslide, in my opinion. That was by far the longest
that's
gameplay
true.
thing.
Maybe Stalker 2 just felt longer to me because I wasn't as interested. When it comes to Forza, I was like, give me every second of that Forza information. Yeah, you're right. And yeah, obviously I think the same thing for me. It's going to be in Game Pass, and that's something I forgot to probably say at the top of the show, is that almost every single game that they announced here is in Game Pass. I think right at the top, they had a woman come out and say that they're showing 30 games and 27 of them will be in Game Pass. So, you know, once again, Game Pass just continuing to get better and better because almost every single game is launching in there. Obviously, all their first-party stuff, but they're also getting some third-party, which is awesome to see. But we'll see when that comes out, kind of what that ends up being like. That is scheduled to come out April 28th of 2022, so excited for that one. And then actually, I did forget that Starfield did give an announcement of their date as well, which is set for November 11th, 2022. So awesome to see that we're actually getting some dates for those. Is it always smart to put a date on it? We'll see. I mean, there's always going to be delays, and but I'm never upset about a delay, because if they need to do it, do it. Make sure the game is polished and ready to come out. The next trailer we got was Back for Blood. So it was kind of gameplay-ish type trailer. We saw, it wasn't just set hardcore gameplay, like you couldn't see a HUD or anything, but it looked like kind of exactly what you're going to be seeing in the first person. So, I'm excited for this one. We got a release date for it, October 12th of 2021. So, it's just kind of the spiritual successor to Left 4 Dead. So I think enough said. I think everybody's kind of ready for one of those. And then we got a legit teaser for Contraband. So this was like as teased as it gets, literally a panning video. Kind of reminded me of that Indiana Jones teaser we got. Really gave you nothing besides this teaser told us the name is Contraband, it's co-op, and it's an open world multiplayer. So cool. That gave us no release date as well, so it really gave us no information. So we'll see what comes of that. Next, even though I'm not like a big fan of Sea of Thieves, like in the sense of like I respect what the game's done, but it didn't gravitate to me, because honestly I think just the combat itself, I don't think it's that fun. The sword play and the gun play in it, it's just meh. But they announced like some DLC of Pirates of the Caribbean, which I thought was pretty cool. I think I remember even talking with you, Robby, when it came out. I was like, that's a smart get for them. And I think we were also joking, like, oh, Fortnite doesn't have it yet? Fortnite doesn't have Pirates of the Caribbean? They got every other franchise in the world. Like, how'd you beat them to it? But yeah, I think that's smart for them to do. They're actually going to be coming out with, it's a Pirate's Life update. So it's going to be a whole new update for Sea of Thieves, and that will hit June 22nd of this year. And that'll be completely free, so which is great for the consumer. Next is going to be all of the Yakuzas are added to Game Pass. So every single Yakuza game is added into Game Pass, and they just plopped in Like a Dragon as well, the newest one. So I've only played a little bit of one of these before. Robby, you're a little more familiar with the Yakuza games, I think?
Yeah, I got pretty deep into Yakuza 0 when that first came to Game Pass. I haven't got deep into the other ones just because the games tend to be kind of long for my liking. The world they build is very just weird and funny, but like it takes itself very seriously, but also doesn't at all. And it's just very kooky. I really enjoy it. I want to play Like a Dragon. That's next up once I finish Mass Effect Legendary Edition. But yeah, I think it's just a great pickup. It also, just to touch on it, I think this is a nice little dipping their toes into the Eastern market or Western market. I forget which I don't know geography, but but the fact that they got the entire Yakuza series, they got the entire series from a normally only PlayStation market. I'm really hoping because of that will we get Persona finally, because I feel like that's the next get for them as far as getting those JRPGs and
I agree. That'll be a big one. At first, I thought you were going to say it's like a little jab at Sony to be like, oh, this used to be only on PlayStation. Well, guess what? Now they're all in Game Pass. So you go pay individually for every single one of these games on PlayStation, or you can just pay for a subscription and get it all. So, I'm interested to play Like a Dragon, even though seeing that that's gone, from the beat 'em up style to the turn-based. But I've heard so many good things about it. But same thing, I'm kind of like, oh, do I want to start it? Because everybody's like, oh, it's like a 70-hour game, 80-hour game. I'm like, I don't have that much time. I really don't. Not right now. But yeah, still awesome to see that all that is hitting Game Pass. After that, we got some amazing gameplay that I was waiting to get. Battlefield 2042 showed off their gameplay trailer, and this kind of just blew up all over the internet because I think this is something that people were waiting for. After they gave us their initial trailer, which I thought was a great representation, especially compared to Battlefield 5 trailer. When that dropped, I was like, ugh. And the gameplay trailer sucked too. So 2042, I think, is doing all the right things to kind of showcase, like, hey, we're just giving you an all-out, epic war. We're focusing on that. No battle royale, no single player. Just here's the multiplayer that we're putting our all into this. So I was very impressed by that gameplay. It got me super excited. Obviously, the game looked gorgeous with all the new weather stuff that they have going on there. The kind of grappling hook-ish. I guess grappling hook is just the thing they're adding into, right? 2042 and Halo.
Yes.
But just overall, it looked like it's going to be so much fun, especially hearing that on new consoles it's going to be up to 124 players. What did you think of finally seeing that gameplay?
I was so happy to see it. They pretty much tried. They did exactly what they did in the trailer, but in actual gameplay form, which was I really appreciated that. Every beat almost exactly was hit at the same time the regular trailer was, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
My biggest thing with it though, it looks great. I cannot wait to play it. This is probably one I'm definitely gonna get. I don't see why I wouldn't get this one, even though it's $70 for only multiplayer. But we'll see. But Battlefield, you're gonna charge people $70 for this game out the box. This game needs to work day one. You cannot have the excuse of, well, we got a campaign, so the multiplayer can be broken. Our servers can be busted for a week, like almost like a bunch of your Battlefield games have been. They have a very steep track record of just awful launches. So you got to get this one right.
I agree. Yeah, no bugs, and those servers better work well. I mean, do an alpha, do a beta, stress test this thing to make sure it's ready for launch. Because, yeah, I think you nailed it in the sense of they don't have anything else to fall back on. That's it. Online game, we need good servers. It needs to just work. And, I hope. It seems like they've put a lot of effort into this one. So I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that it actually works, but it is EA, so I can't get too excited, right? But I think plain and simple, I also like that they are just strictly going the route of not necessarily trying to be Call of Duty. I felt like in Battlefield 5, they were kind of leaning more towards, we kind of want to be Call of Duty, but like, no, you're not. And I think it's a good thing. We only need one Call of Duty. I don't need more Call of Duties. Be more realistic, like, war. Plain and simple.
Yeah.
But after that, then we were hit with another kind of teaser for 12 minutes. Well, not a teaser. I think we've seen 12 minutes for a while now, but we were finally given a release date for August 19th of 2021. So, really excited for that one. It's like an interactive thriller with an amazing voice cast. What is it? James
McAvoy.
Who all? James McAvoy. I almost want to say John. Yeah, James McAvoy, Willem Dafoe, Daisy Ridley. It's just such a great cast, and the way that it's shot, where it's like set from above, and you're apparently you keep going through this cycle, and you're not sure why you're going through the cycle. It looks really interesting, so I'm excited to see that one. And once again, coming to Game Pass, like great, because that'll probably be a quicker game that I can just install, play through, and be good to go. After
you can almost say that we've seen over 12 minutes of the game. How to get that in?
Oh, too good to pass up, right? Next we got Psychonauts 2. This one I'm super excited for as well. I think Robby recently spoke to this when we were speaking about games we were playing, because I think you were checking out Psychonauts 1, talking about how you hope 2 learns the lessons of like just giving us more of less puzzles and more of the actual like
platforming.
Whatchamacallit? Why am I blanking? Yes, platforming. I was like jumping, platforming. Yes. More platforming, more of the fun stuff, and less of the boring stuff. So excited to see that one come out. That hits August 25th of this year. After that, they did announce that 10 more Bethesda games were coming to Game Pass, bringing the total number of Bethesda games up to 30. So 30 total Bethesda games, which is pretty crazy. Even if you go onto your Game Pass app, they have a section for just straight up Bethesda. You can see every game that's on there. So once again, Microsoft taking the investment and making the most of it when it came to purchasing them. Next, we got Fallout 76 news. Yay! So they're getting some updates here. We got Steel Rain hitting July 7th. And then they also announced another update called Expeditions: The Pit. And that just said it's coming 2022. So we'll see when that actually hits. After that, it was the Elder Scrolls Online, just talking about how that's going to be optimized, for Series X and Series S. Then we got Party Animals. So this is scheduled to come out it just says 2022. It is from the Gang Beast creators. I did think it was weird that nowhere throughout that trailer did it say like, from the studio that brought you Gang Beast, or the spiritual, like nothing about it. I don't know. Do you think that's odd? It's like, it looked exactly like Gang Beast, except the characters were animals.
Is it 100% confirmed the same company that did Gang Beast? Do you know?
Then maybe I need to look into that, because all the mechanics are exactly the same. Maybe they lost the rights to it or something. Yeah, it's identical. The way that they hit with their head and they punch, like, it's just the same weird kind of movements as Gang Beasts. So, but then again, I didn't research deeper into that. So thanks for calling me out, Robby. Appreciate you. I will look and see. I will have to check that out because, yeah, I thought it was odd. I was like, why wouldn't you say, like, from the people that brought you this? But anyway, moving on. After Party Animals, we were hit with Hades coming to Game Pass. So that's going to be hitting Game Pass August 13th of this year. Obviously, Hades is critically acclaimed. So many people gave it their Game of the Year. I played a little bit of it on my Nintendo Switch, which I really enjoyed it. I didn't quite fall in love with it like everybody else did. But I think it's going to be great for Game Pass for more people to experience it because it's a lot of fun. After that came something that really caught my eye called Summerville. So Summerville is going to be hitting in 2022. That's as much as we know when it's coming out. And, you know, when it first popped up, it's funny. Robby was like, oh, that's a Tito game. Because he knows some of my favorites are Limbo and Inside. Like, those are like, I could play through those games a million times. And this is actually from the co-creator of those games. Because the two main creators who created Limbo and Inside, they had some disagreements and they split up. So this is the half brain that created Limbo and Inside, and that's why it resembles that so much. But I love the moody atmosphere it's giving off, and I can't wait to play that. After that, we got a bunch of Halo Infinite news. Now, this is some news that I think everybody was waiting to see as far as getting some more info on the single player. You know, it did show off kind of like a cutscene and just more of kind of in-engine cutscene type stuff. I personally thought they were going to show a little more like single player stuff to kind of put people at ease after they were upset with the first reveal, but then they did a deep dive into multiplayer. So, you know, what were your thoughts on everything that they showed as far as Halo Infinite goes? Do you think they showed enough to gain people's trust back?
I don't know about gain people's trust back, but they showed enough for the press conference purely because the fact that Halo Infinite's multiplayer is going to be free to play right out the gate, that people only have to pay for the campaign, but it's going to come straight to Game Pass. So really, pay $15 for Game Pass and beat it because it's going to be a short campaign. You know, I don't think they needed to really stress how great the campaign was this time around. They gave us a good enough idea of what it's going to be like. They just need to tweak the visuals with, you know, Greg, or whatever his name was.
Yeah.
But I really like this. My only negative towards this would be that they didn't give us a date. They gave us dates for 2022, the exact date for Starfield, but they couldn't give us a date for Halo. That's supposed to come out holiday, or was it this year?
Yep. Yeah. That's all they said is holiday. Yeah. And think about how many other games we got legit dates for, as you just said, Starfield, right? But yet it got pushed back a whole year. They still don't want to commit to a date. So I know a lot of people have been worried about this, but I think it more has to do that maybe they're just waiting to see, you know, when Call of Duty announces their date, right? And when some other big shooters announce their dates, so they just don't get in the way. That's the only thing I can speculate. At least I hope, because there better not be more polished to do. Like, they should be getting to a good point by now.
You would think.
Yeah, you would think they'd be on track after everything else that went on. So, but yeah, like you're saying too, like free to play. That's amazing. That multiplayer is free to play. Let's just hope that when it does hit, their monetization isn't terrible. You know, I don't expect it to be great, but hopefully it's not the worst. So we'll see, especially with showing all the customization you can do every part of the armor. It better not cost me $15 to change every color of the armor that's on that Spartan. It's going to be like $250 just to get, you know, a different color. So I hope they do it right by the consumer, and I'm hoping they will. I think Xbox has been trying to make sure they do right by the consumer as much as they can lately to kind of stay in everybody's kind of good graces. So we'll see when that actually hits. But it was exciting to finally see some more of it. And man, the trailer for the multiplayer, it definitely gave a lot of people some nostalgic feel of remembering why they loved Halo multiplayer, especially from back in the day. I think they did a great job with that. After that, we did get Diablo II Resurrected, which is a remaster, remake, one or the other. I think it's just a remaster. It's hitting September 23rd of 2021. And then after that, we were given A Plague's Tale Requiem. So this just gave us a year of 2022, and it got me to go download the original Plague's Tale, because I had like played just a bit of it when I was going through like every Game Pass game that was out, when Xbox was running a contest of like, oh, if you play the most Game Pass games, you could win a Series X. And I'm like, I need a Series X. And I played a little bit of that just to kind of count it as playing it for a little bit. And I was surprised how good it was. So now I'm like, I want to play through this to see, you know, what comes out of the second one. Because before that, I really didn't know like anything about that game. So excited to see that one, especially after I finished the first. Did you ever play A Plague's Tale?
I didn't get to check it out, but I think it's gonna have the same effect that Hellblade. Whereas I touched Hellblade for like 10 minutes, like this is really cool, but I don't understand the puzzle mechanics. So I'm like, maybe I'll come back to this, because like the whole idea with like all the noises around you and like the atmosphere of that game was nuts. So I know I have to go back to that eventually, because 2's coming out. So now that there's a sequel to Plague's Tale, I'm probably gonna go jump to the first one, given like a couple months.
Yep. Yeah. Same. Yeah, it's funny because I was the same way in Hellblade when I first played. I'm like, oh, this is great. The atmosphere is great. Then I'm like, wait, I gotta connect this little cross thing with, find it in the. I was like, this is not the type of game I want to play right now. So I was like, I'll play it later. After that, we got just more stuff about Far Cry 6. It really wasn't anything new that we didn't already see in the Ubisoft Forward conference. So it was just kind of more like, hey, Far Cry 6 is coming out. We got an extra video in the Xbox showcase. And that was pretty much it. That's coming out October 7th of 2021. And then we got Slime Rancher 2. I know you guys are waiting for that new Slime Rancher. That's that new hotness. Yeah, this is probably the least exciting thing they had in their whole conference. It was goo. It was goo. Just goo. Get the goo, put the goo in the thing, and you got the goo. Yeah. That hits 2022. No actual date yet. After that, we got Shredders. So this, it's funny too, because as the trailer was playing, I was telling Robby, like, this looks like, it reminds me of Session. So Session is a skateboarding game that was created by a small team of developers that they skateboard and they love skateboarding. And this is now a snowboarding game created by a small group of developers who snowboard. So, you know, I think it even says in the tagline, like, by riders, for riders. And it looks fun because it really gives me a lot of Amped 2 vibes with the way that they were doing kind of slow 180s over certain things, just really making it more stylized. And that's something I've missed, even though I really loved playing Steep. I think Steep is probably one of the best snowboarding games we have out there, but nothing's quite hit the way that Amp 2 hit back in the day, where I love that you could get just as much points for a stylish 180 compared to like a 900. And I don't think anybody's kind of made that happen, especially after Amp 3 was just garbage. They like made a bunny do some stuff. Yeah, I was not happy. Next, after Shredders, we got Atomic Heart, which this is something I had never heard of before. It was really, the music they played for that trailer was really weird. I don't know if you remember, Rob. It was like
very odd.
It was, yeah. It's really odd because it's like, it seems like the game's trying to be more serious and playing this really weird music. But the game looked good. It looked good, but I don't know how interested I am to play it. But if you're interested to play it, there's no release window, so you'll play it when it's ready. Next was Replaced. So this is, once again, Game Pass as well. We just only got info of it hitting 2022. I love the art style of this game. It's that like highly detailed pixel animation that I think just it kind of hits both the retro but also mixes in some new school. So I don't know, I love that style of game. Kind of reminds me of what is it? I can't think of the Katana Zero, I think it is, that kind of has that similar style. What do you think about that one, Rob? Do you remember that one, the like kind of pixel animated?
Yeah, funny enough, when we watched that live together, my stream was kind of messing up here and there. So that trailer particularly, it was kind of like lower quality, it was like 480p. So I remember looking like, oh, okay, that looks cool. Then I watched it again when we did like the recap. That game's visuals, it was probably the second best looking game in the entire showcase. Even though it's an indie game, like the way they blended the pixel with the backgrounds, that game looks so beautiful. It's not fair. And I like how the combat looks very smooth, and that's a must play for me. Yeah, the only game that beat it out is Forza, which I mentioned again. We'll talk about. We're getting there. But
yeah. Oh my gosh, yeah, amazing. And you made a good point too. Just so everybody does know, if you ever watch the live stream of any coverage, go back and watch it after they put it up in 4K. Don't just go by what you saw from the live stream, because every live stream is like 1080p just because that's how it is. But then when you watch it after it's fully uploaded, you get 4K and you get to see more of the true beauty of that video game. So don't just rely on the stream. After Replace, next we just got some updates coming for Grounded. Grounded is a game for me that, once again, I checked it out right when it came out because Game Pass. It wasn't for me. I respect what they did, and actually finding out that it's only like a team of like 16 people making that game is pretty crazy. But they did announce a new update coming called Shroom and Doom Update. That'll hit June 30th this year for free. So a lot of free updates coming to Xbox. After that, we got a trailer for Among Us. It's a game you've never heard of, right? Nobody's playing that. Actually, of course, Xbox is getting it after it's like gonna be not as popular anymore. I think we definitely missed the window of when it was crazy. But that just said coming soon. So maybe tomorrow, maybe next week, maybe in 2 weeks. Soon. It'll be here. After that, we got, all right, I'm gonna mess these up. Eiyuden Chronicle 100 Heroes and Eiyuden Chronicle Rising. Had never heard of these before this time. So no release window was given for these, just simply said they're coming to Xbox, coming to Game Pass. But when I was searching for them, because I was like, why have I never ever heard of this? I saw that the Eiyuden Chronicles 100 Heroes is actually from Kickstarter. So it was actually a Kickstarter game. So I feel like we haven't seen one of those come out in a while. So I thought that was interesting. After that, we got the Ascent. So this game, once again, I think we had some trailer come through from the previous Xbox showcase. They just gave a little more of it. And I was pretty impressed, though, to hear that the Ascent is actually made by a small studio of only, I think it was the same thing, like it was like 14 or 15 people, which is pretty impressive when you look at, what it looks like for the game. But it's something, once again, I'll check out because it's Game Pass. So if it's there, I'm going to play it and see what it's like. That's going to be hitting July 29th of 2021. Then we got Age of Empires 6. So once again, Game Pass hitting October 28th, 2021. Some people out there are going to be stoked. I'm not one of those people. And then after that, we got a great trailer for
Game
the
Pass
Outer Worlds.
for PC only. I got to interrupt. Sorry.
Oh, it's PC only?
Yeah. It's only coming to Game Pass for PC, no console.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm so disappointed. I was looking forward to playing that on my console. I'm not. PC Game Pass, have a blast. Have a blasty blast with Age of Empires. Next, after that, we got the Outer Worlds 2, which I loved the trailer that they put out because it was just kind of like making fun of trailers. And even they said, like, in the trailer, we've got nothing done in this game except for we know the name, or however they put it. So Outer Worlds 2 is going to be coming to Xbox exclusively now, since when Xbox originally made the deal to purchase that studio, they had already, said they were going to be multi-platform, but now the next one will be exclusive to Xbox, not coming on PlayStation. Then we got Flight Simulator for console, so that's going to be hitting July 27th of 2021, with a free expansion also coming in the fall. Some of it having to do with a tie-in with the Top Gun movie, because after they gave us kind of some beautiful showcase of some scenery within Flight Simulator, they showed like a fighter jet, and then it said like, something by Top Gun Maverick, whatever that new movie is that's coming out. So I guess they got a tie-in with there, but man, I can't wait to play this game. It looks gorgeous, and I don't understand how they mapped out the world so beautifully. And it just looks relaxing. I don't know. Are you gonna check? I mean, I would imagine you're gonna check it out because it's coming to Game Pass. But are you actually excited to see like a flight simulator game?
No, yeah, I think it makes a lot of sense. Granted, controller probably isn't the best way to play a flight simulator, but they released a very affordable, $400 setup for you just for the Xbox. So you can have fun with that.
Yeah, $400. That's nothing. Yeah, actually, Robby had sent me this. He's like, look at this controller they got for Flight Simulator. And I'm like, I never played Flight Simulator, but I need it. I need that controller. It looks amazing. It's the only way to play. But yeah, that game just looks gorgeous, and I just can't wait to actually try like flying. It's just insane that you can go to any airport, fly out of any airport, fly to any airport, go anywhere in the world. So I'm sure people who had this on PC were loving this during quarantine because you could just go wherever you want, just get away. After that, we got the game we've mentioned like 2 times already, Forza Horizon 5. So they announced not only Forza Horizon 5, it's going to be set in Mexico. It's coming out November 9th of 2021, but they gave us a good in-depth trailer kind of showcasing what the game's about, as well as right after that trailer, they hit us with a bunch of just gameplay. And the gameplay was jaw-dropping. I mean, the scenes that they're showcasing, and then the car just comes into the scene and it goes right into gameplay. It is just, yeah, stunning. It looks so good. And I don't know, what were your thoughts seeing this, Robby? I know you were hyped about this one.
Yeah, same thoughts as you. It's just jaw-droppingly beautiful, and it's Forza, so you know it's gonna play great. I can't wait to play it, honestly, and I like the fact the thing at the end about the creation for certain maps, like players can create their own maps and stuff. I really like that because that's tapping into what GTA did for a bit, where you could create your own like custom race courses and stuff. So seeing that in a Forza game, that's really cool. But I'm excited.
Yeah, same. Yeah, the custom games look like it could be a lot of fun. I know I've played a lot of the custom maps in Dirt 5, and that's been fun to see some of the weird things people have created. But within Forza, I mean, you know, within that beautiful world, and depending on what tools they give you, it could be really exciting. My one wish is I hope that it will work well with the steering wheel. Because, man, I love the steering wheel that I have. In every other game, it plays perfectly. But for some reason, Forza Horizon 4 is terrible. You just can't hold traction. So like I'm praying that they figure out what that issue was, because man, I've looked at so many forums, seen so many things on Reddit, had so many people say try these settings, and it's all trash. So hoping that this one will be well equipped for a racing wheel, because man, I just want to play through that entire game with my wheel. So we'll see. After that, we were given kind of like Phil Spencer came out, talked a little bit about, you know, Xbox, we're great, we're cool, look at me, I saved this company, and then kind of hit you with a one last thing, and we got I personally think a way too long of a CGI trailer for a game called Redfall. Now, this is a multiplayer team shooter with vampires that you're killing. So pretty much take every other zombie shooter and just put vampires in there. Except it's going to be made by Arcane. So, you know, the people who made the Dishonored series. So it'll be great to see if they take some of those mechanics and put it into a multiplayer game. Granted, this is going to be the first time they've made a multiplayer game. But that got a release date of summer 2022. But was it, you know... Once again, did you feel like that trailer was too long? I felt like it was going on forever, and I'm just like, you're not even, it's just CG, it's just a CG trailer. You're not even really giving me much. I don't know.
Yeah, the trailer was way too long, but I'm curious. I'm just curious what they're trying to go with it. Like, I don't like the fact that you had to read a forum to figure out what the game was really going for. All you could tell is, oh, they each have powers, and you're going to be killing vampires. But apparently it's an open world shooter. It's not just like a singular like level based. It's going to be like its own sprawling world where, you know, you can play with up to 4 people. And I just didn't get that from the trailer. So I thought as a trailer it didn't do good. But the fact that it's not actually the Dishonored team. It's part of Arcane, but it's Arcane West, I think, or something like that. It's the people who did Prey particularly that are doing this game.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's even more different, because to me, when I first thought it was from the Dishonored series, I'm like, okay, that kind of makes sense. But from Prey, that's like a whole different ballgame for them, because they're like straight up, I don't know, just different atmospheric type stuff. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see how that ends up being, because, you know, they're obviously putting some backing behind it. For it to be their last thing they're showing, hopefully it'll be, you know, something that will come out and make a big splash. But when at first glance, I was like, oh, it's Apex working together against vampires.
Yeah,
I feel like they didn't do a great job kind of showcasing what it could be, but, you know, doesn't mean it can't end up being great. But that's how they ended the conference, and after that was, you know, all 30 games that they had to show. All in all, I think it was a great conference. I didn't feel like at any moment I was like, bored. Obviously, I talked about the moments where I felt like sometimes it ran a little too long. But other than that, just a lot of great games. And, you know, I've heard a lot of people talking about like, oh, this is the best conference they've ever had. I think it's up there. I was trying to think of one that like what would truly be better. But, you know, what were your overall thoughts on, you know, how this E3 wrapped up for Xbox this conference?
Yeah, this is easily one of their strongest showings in a while. Like, I can't, it's hard for me to think back to the last time that they really were just hit after hit after hit. The only complaints I have are very minor. There's just certain trailers that I felt just were padding, and the how to say this, the inclusion of like Halo not getting enough time but giving a lot of time to something like Redfall. And I personally thought, as much as I loved it, Forza was a little too long. It was just because if you're not someone who loves Forza, that could have just seemed like, okay, I get it, it's beautiful, okay, this is the fourth scene with just the still shot and then driving in the distance. So it's the pacing was a little off, but as far as quality, like game trailers back to back, it's great. And this should have just been called the Game Pass E3. Yeah, if we're being honest, this is why you want Game Pass, because that's what makes it, I think, the best, because everything you're seeing is, oh, I get to play this. Oh, I get to play this. Oh, I get to play this. Not, am I going to spend $60 on this? It's,
Yeah, literally. It'd be like if Netflix had a conference, right? They're like, hey, look at this coming out. This is coming out. This comes. So you're like, cool, I get to watch it. I get to watch it. I get to watch it. Instead, it's, I get to play it. I get to play it. I get to play it. And, you know, if you own an Xbox and you don't have Game Pass, I just don't understand why you even have an Xbox. What are you doing? Actually, no, I get it, because you're somebody who probably just plays one game. You play just NBA or just Call of Duty. But seriously, you need Game Pass. It's great. It's open up your world to a whole, other just dimension of gaming. It's just insane how good it is, and it just keeps getting better. And I think Phil Spencer is kind of leading the charge on that. And I'll agree with you, Rob. I think it is one of their best showcases they've ever had, because I think they're finally getting to kind of show the fruits of their labor, right? All the work they've been putting in to purchase studios, they're finally getting some things to come out, and we're finally kind of we're going to end the phrase of, oh, Xbox doesn't have games. Like, they got games. They got a lot now. So they definitely are kind of showing that they're here to stay, right? And I think a while after the Xbox One, people are like, are they going to get out of gaming? Like, no. Phil came and saved the day. But all in all, amazing conference from Xbox. I think they did do a great job of really making E3 seem special, where I think some others didn't, and we'll probably cover those in later videos. But awesome conference. I'm super excited for the future of Xbox, excited for the future of Game Pass, and I think they really set themselves up for success, going like month by month by month. You're going to get a new game to pop into that service at least once a month, so you're always going to have something new to play. So super excited for that. That's all we have for you guys today, though. Did you get to watch the conference yourself, or what did you think of it? Let us know down below. Be curious to see if you think it is their best conference they've ever done, or if maybe you disagree. But once again, Robby, thank you so much for joining me to run through the Xbox Showcase, and we will see you guys later.